Here we have a square root equation and we have to solve for x in this square root equation. Actually, in the given square root equation, we find two square roots on the left side of the equation, and both the two square roots are in subtraction. Okay, whenever we have this kind of square root equations and we have two square roots on the same side, so what we do is we have to keep one square root on each side of the equation. That is, we have to keep one square root on the left side and one square root on the other side. So if we keep it so, it will be easier for us to solve the equation. So we have to get one of the square roots on the left side. So we can add square root of 3x positive 4 to both sides to get this square root 3x positive 4. So when I add them, the negative term positive term will cancel out. I get square root of 2x negative 4 equals to, so here we have already negative 2. Now we have positive square root of 3x positive 4. So let's write the positive term first. So that is square root of 3x positive 4 negative 2. Okay, to get the square root over here and here, we can square both sides of the equation. Okay, so let me square both sides of the equation. Okay, here we have only one square root term on the left side. So the square root and square will cancel out. I will get 2x negative 4 on the left side. But on the right side, we have the square of a binomial, because this is one term, this is another term. So the two terms are in subtraction. That is, actually it is a binomial, and we have square for a binomial. So I want to expand this one. So to expand the square of a binomial, I can use the algebraic identity, that is a negative b the whole square. Actually, this is a binomial and we have square for this one. So the expansion of the square of this binomial is a square negative 2ab positive b square. So here I have negative sign between a and b. So I am taking negative sign for 2ab. In case I have positive sign between a and b on the left side, then the 2ab on the right side has to be positive. So here I consider the algebraic identity with negative sign between a and b on the left side, because here between the two terms we have negative sign. Okay, so comparing this and this, I get square root of 3x positive 4 for a and 2 for b. So when I write the expansion over here, so at the place of a, I have to write square root of 3x positive 4. At the place of b, I have to write 2. So first we have a square. So a square means we have to take square for square root of 3x positive 4. This is a square. Negative 2ab, 2 times. Again, the value of a is square root of 3x positive 4, and the value of b is just 2. Positive b square. B square means we have 2, so 2 square. So 2x negative 4 equals to the square root, and square root cancel out. I get 3x positive 4. Okay, negative. So 2 times 2 is 4 times square root of 3x positive 4, and positive the value of 2 square is just 4. Okay, now 2x negative 4 equals to 3x positive. I can combine this positive 4 and positive 4. So when I combine them, I'll be getting 3x positive 8, negative 4 times square root of 3x positive 4. Okay, still we have square root in the equation. So we must get rid of this square root also, so that we'll be able to solve for x. So to get rid of this square root, I have to isolate this square root term. So for that, I have to get rid of the rest of the terms. So for that, I subtract 3x from both sides, and also I subtract 8 from both sides. So positive 3x, negative 3x, and positive 8, negative 8 will cancel out. So, and also here negative 8. Okay, so the simplification of 2x negative 3x will be negative x, and the simplification of negative 4 and negative 8 will be negative 12 equals to negative 4 times square root of 3x positive 4. Here this term is negative, this term is negative, all the terms in this equation are negative. So better we can make it as positive. We can multiply both sides of the equation by negative 1. So negative 1 times negative x negative 12 equals to negative 1 times negative 4 times square root of x positive 4. So negative 1 times negative x will be positive x, negative 1 times negative 2 will be positive 12, negative 1 times negative 4 will be positive 4 times square root of 3x positive 4. Okay, to get rid of this square root, what we need to do is I have to square both sides. Now I'm going to square both sides. So here again, it is in the form of a positive b the whole square. So just now we discussed the expansion of a positive b the whole square. It is equal to a square positive 2ab positive b square. Since we have positive sign between a and b, the 2ab has to be positive. So here to expand this one, at the place of a, we have to take x. At the place of b, we have to take 12. Okay, let me do it. So x square positive 2 times x times 12, that is 2ab, positive b square means 12 square, equals to the two terms 4 and square root of 3x positive 4 are in multiplication and we have the common exponent. So whenever two terms are in multiplication and we have a common exponent, we can take exponents separately for each term and multiply them. So I'm taking square for this 4 and square root of 3x positive 4 separately and multiply them. Okay, now in the next step, x square positive 2 times x times 12 will be 24x. 2 times 12 is 24. Positive 12 square is 144 equals to 4 square is 16 on the right side. The square root and square root cancel out. I get 3x positive 4. Okay, x square positive 24x positive 144 equals to, I can distribute this 16 to this one and this one. 16 times 3x will be 48x. Positive 16 times 4 will be 64. Okay, so now to get the quadratic equation in standard form, I have to get 0 on the right side. So I have to get rid of this 48x and 64. So I subtract 48x from both sides and I subtract 64 from both sides. Okay, so this one will cancel out x square. Okay, now when I combine negative 24x, positive 24x and negative 48x, it will be negative 24x. Sorry, I forgot to write negative 64 over here. Okay, now I have to simplify this one. I'll be getting 4 minus 4, 0. Then I'll be getting positive 80. So now I got a quadratic equation in standard form. That is x square negative 24x positive 80 equals to 0. Okay, now let's solve this. Let's try to solve this quadratic equation by factoring on the other page. This is the last step we had on the previous page. Actually, this is a quadratic equation in standard form. Okay, so let's try to solve this quadratic equation by factoring. So for that, we have to look at the coefficient of x square. Actually, we don't find any number in front of x square, so we have to assume there is 1. So let's take the constant term. Since the coefficient of x square is 1, so we have to consider the constant term for factoring, that is positive 80. So now I have to get two factors for this positive 80, so that the product of two factors is equal to positive 80 and the sum of the two factors is equal to the coefficient of x negative 24. I think negative 4 and negative 20 will work, because when I multiply negative 4 and negative 20, negative times negative will become positive. 4 times 20 is 80, positive 80. When I combine these two, negative 4 and negative 20, so I'm getting negative 24. Okay, so I don't have to do further factoring. I can get the two values of x even from these two factors. So what I have to do is I have to change the signs of these two factors to get the values of x. So the first value of x is going to be, so opposite of this sign, that is positive, and then we have to take this number, positive 4. The second value of x is positive 20. So we just have to change the sign of this particular factor. So I got two values for x, 4 and 20. Okay, so when we get solutions for square root equations, it is advisable to verify the solutions with the given quadratic equation. Sometimes one of the solutions may not satisfy the given quadratic equation, so that solution has to be excluded. So always we have to check the solutions with the given quadratic equations. So first, let's check the first solution, x is equal to 4 with the given quadratic equation. To check the first solution 4 with the given square root equation, what I need to do is I have to plug in x is equal to 4 into the given equation and check whether the equation is satisfied by this value 4. Okay, let me do it. So square root of 2 times 4, negative 4, negative square root of 3 times 4, positive 4 equals to negative 2. So square root of 2 times 4 is 8, 8 negative 4, and here 3 times 4 is 12, positive 4 equals to negative 2. So we get square root of 8 negative 4 is just 4, negative square root of 12 positive 4 is 16 equals to negative 2. So the value of square root of 4 is just 2. The value of square root of 16 is just 4 equals to negative 2. So the simplification of this one, 2 negative 4 is just negative 2 equals to negative 2. So this is a true statement. So the equation is satisfied by the first solution, x is equal to 4. So the first solution 4 can be accepted. Okay, now we can verify the second solution 20. So the same thing, to check the second solution satisfies the given quadratic equation, we have to plug in x is equal to 20 into the given quadratic equation. Okay, let me do it. So square root of 2 times 20, negative 4, negative square root of 3 times 20, positive 4 equals to negative 2. Okay, square root of 2 times 20 is 40, negative 4, negative square root of 60, 3 times 20 is 60, positive 4 equals to negative 2. Okay, so 40 negative 4 is 36, so we get square root of 36, negative square root of 60, positive 4 is 64 equals to negative 2. So square root of 36, already we know that it's 6, and square root of 64 is it's 8 equals to negative 2. So the simplification of 6 negative 8 is just negative 2 equals to negative 2. So this is true statement. So the equation, the given equation is satisfied by the second solution 20. So both the solutions of 4 and 20 satisfy the given square root equation. So both the solutions can be accepted.